All over the map is music from places that people here don't normally listen to a lot of, and finding a common thread and finding the differences. It really sprung out of learning about jazz. You know, my first real formal education was classical music because, you know, the world values that. But when I started getting into jazz, I read about it and I realized that when it came together, like the whole world was scripted to segregate. And but the musicians thought it was stupid that the languages had to blend. And so all these people came together and they created this music. It was a mix of European culture, of Yiddish culture, some indigenous ideas. Those kind of things were all mixing together with rhythm language and notes that didn't exist on the piano. You know, phrases that didn't love the downbeat, they loved the up count. You know, Africans dance on the ceiling and Europeans like to dance on the floor. They 1, 2, 3, 2, you know, and Africans are like and 2, boom, And at the time when it flourished, you know, in the Louis Armstrong days, only the Africans and Europeans that were here blending could do it. We get to this point now that we're all over the world, the idea of jazz has permeated their society. And so like when you think about Brazilian jazz, it has a fingerprint. It sounds like, you know, samba, you know, and then when you think about Afro-Cuban jazz, it's salsa, right? And I thought, wow, you know, jazz music always has the topic of Western civilization to work against. So why don't I just take the topics of the rest of the world besides Western civilization and then see if I can like get their harmonic and fingerprint, you know, their melodic fingerprint, and then codify a tune that reflected that through my filter, of course, but I can't avoid that, you know. And so that's when I started the Oceanic Jazz Orchestra. And then I decided to take the techniques that I learned from doing that and do a longitude project for North America, you know, which put me back into some Western things. But, you know, I have an Argentinian tango, a type of bossa nova that I've infused, an Uruguayan Zambia, it's called. I have a rock piece for Colorado, and all of them tell stories about the region, the things that we share, you know. And we want to advocate how important each culture is to our society. So they get invited to explore other people's tastes and values and cultures, and with the end hope that everybody becomes more humanized to each other. You can leave something, you know, worth your efforts to the world, you know. And so now, whether I ever achieve that or not, that's almost irrelevant, but that's the driver of my musical inspiration.